So today I'd like to review the Sig Saeur P238 chambered in 380 auto. It's a small little pocket pistol that you can carry in a really concealable fashion, which is why I got it. So let's just walk through it. The box that it comes in is a nice little plastic box that will double as a case. So you don't have to go get another case for it. You can just carry it, or store it rather, in the box that it comes in. When you open it up, you've got the chamber flag from Sig. There is a small little holster. It's an outside the waistband clip-on holster. I wouldn't recommend using it for much of anything. You know, the benefit of this gun, a gun this size, is its concealability. And with an outside the waistband holster like this, it kind of goes out the window. It's a friction retention system, though, just really bare bones. It does work in a pinch, though. This particular version of the gun comes with the 7-round extended magazine, and it's got the small little finger groove as well for your pinky to catch on, which is nice. I think I paid about $470 for this gun. Academy sells this version for quite a bit less than most variants of the P238 can be had for. So it's pretty affordable. This gun, though, can sell for as much as $600 or $700 brand new. Let's go ahead and just check to make sure that it is clear. There's nothing in the magazine well, no magazine in it, and the safety is currently off, but because the hammer's forward, we have to have the safety off to rack the slide. We'll check and make sure that there is nothing inside the chamber, and there's not. We're good. So the gun is safe. Gun's controls are very similar to a 1911. There's a magazine release there right behind the trigger. We've got an external manual safety mounted at the back of the frame. Up is safe, down is fire. There's an external hammer that indicates whether the gun is cocked or not. It is a single action firearm, so the hammer does have to be back for the gun to fire. You can't just pull the trigger and have the gun cock itself. And then there is a slide release as well. The only other control on the gun, when a empty magazine, when you empty the magazine on the last round, the slide will lock back. If you insert a fresh mag, you just push the slide release down, and the slide will bring the next round forward into battery. The trigger on this little carry pistol is very nice. Because it is a single action, the only thing the trigger is doing is tripping the hammer. And so it's just very, very smooth. It's very manageable. The pull on it is not heavy at all. It's not a competition trigger, but it is just a really nice, smooth, relatively lightweight trigger. My grandmother could fire this gun. So the sights on this pistol, this particular variant comes with Sig night sights. They have tritium inserts, so they, let's see if I can get this to focus on our sights here. Probably not. That'd be asking a bit much. Anyway, there are tritium sights. The back sights are white. In the daylight. At night, they glow with a greenish kind of a tint. There we go, we're focused. The front sight is a green color in the daylight and also a green at night. And it's got a little bit of a fiber optic insert there that picks up light during the day, so it glows very brightly. It's very easy to acquire the sights on this thing. They just line up like a dream. For a little pocket 380, the sights on it are fantastic. I've got full-size pistols that have worse sights than this gun does, so the sights are lovely. As far as takedown goes, let me move this box out of the way. Zoom back out. As far as takedown goes, takedown on this gun is pretty simple. You need to make sure that the gun is unloaded, and then the whole takedown process hinges around the slide release. So there is a little notch here in the slide that we'll have to line up with a little catch on the slide release. We'll bring this back right about there, and I'm just applying pressure to the pin for the slide release on the other side of the gun. We'll kind of wiggle it. That slide release pin fell out, and so now we can just bring the entire slide forwards. Okay. And at this point then we pull out the retaining or the guide rod with the spring and pull the barrel out and the slide. So the whole thing disassembles quite nicely in not a lot of time. Reassembly is really just the reverse of disassembly. Put the barrel back into our slide, put our guide rod back into the slide as well, and on the guide rod we'll just make sure that this crescent shaped part of the rod is up against the barrel. Let's put the spring into its housing and compress the spring. This can be a little bit tricky. There we go. Almost. There we go. Okay. So just make sure that we've got that in there really good. And the guide rod's flush with the end of the slide when you've done that correctly. At this point, we're just going to slide the slide back onto the frame. Now there's one little trick to this. You can't just bring the slide straight back home like you might on a Glock or on some Walthers or other guns. There's this little silver piece that sticks up above the frame, and if you just rack this thing home, you'll wind up damaging this silver piece. So just make sure that as you come back towards it, you push that piece down and underneath the slide. For the last step, we're going to put our slide release lever back into place. This half moon notch on the slide, we're going to bring back to line up with this little half moon catch on our slide release lever. And we'll get that started. There. Oop. Okay, just get it close. Bring it back, line it up. And then push the slide release lever down in there like we did. And the whole thing should come back together. And we are ready to rock and roll. That's disassembly and reassembly. The whole process is quite easy. It's a dream to shoot. It shoots very well. The all metal frame gives this gun a little bit of heft. It's not heavy. It's just a little bit heftier than some guns its size. That extra heft helps to absorb some of the recoil compared to what you might find with like a smaller Smith & Wesson Bodyguard or a plastic framed gun. I do also have a holster that I picked up for the gun. It's a little DeSantis Nemesis. It's a P6 is the sizing. It's got a little rubberized texture on the outside to stick to your pocket a little bit, and a nylon interior. So the gun just fits very tightly inside of it. There's a little bit of resistance to it coming out. It covers the trigger completely. When you draw the firearm, the rubberized texture is supposed to cling to your pocket, and the slicker inside is supposed to allow the pistol to just come out, leaving the holster in your pocket. This extra corner here helps to kind of help it look less like a gun shape. It doesn't do a perfect job of that, but it is better than nothing. It's certainly better than carrying this pistol by itself in your pocket. That's not advisable. at all. So it's good to have something to cover the trigger guard. I've been really thrilled with this holster. It's the only holster that I've carried the P238 in, and it does work quite well in a pair of just average Levi jeans if you're not wearing them super tight. So this does definitely play to the gun's strengths of concealability. So overall, it's just a really great gun to shoot. The recoil is very manageable, and like I said before, the trigger is quite nice for a gun this size. It's just about the most shootable gun that you can find, in my opinion. That's it for the Sig P238 in 380 auto. Thanks for watching.